So you're thinking about moving to Redmond, Washington.
And you want to know the good and the bad, the yin and the yang, the pros and the cons? Well, in today's video, we're going to talk about Redmond, Washington so that you can be sure that it's the right fit or not when making the move to Greater Seattle.
And we're going to get after it right now.
If this is your first time to our channel and you want to know everything about living in Greater Seattle, then you want to hit that subscribe and tap that notification bell so you can be the first to know about any updates to our current market and Greater Seattle.
My name is Jess.
My name's Sterling.
We're local realtors. Our team gets calls and emails every single day from people just like you looking to make their move to the Greater Seattle area, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're planning to make that move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We would love to help you make that smooth move to Seattle.
So jumping right into today's topic, the #1 pro for living in Redmond, Washington is
the location. It is a fantastic location, especially if you work in the tech industry. We have Microsoft headquartered in Redmond. Yes, it's not in Seattle, it's not in Bellevue, it's actually headquartered in Redmond. And so if you work for Microsoft, it is super convenient to live in Redmond so that you're not spending all of your extra hours in commuting time. You can enjoy the outdoors. They also have companies like Nintendo USA. Right next door in Kirkland is a Google campus, and Bellevue also has some other tech companies located there, which is not too far away either. So Redmond is just a really super convenient location to be if you work in those tech industries.
Exactly. And while Amazon is headquartered in Seattle, they are bringing thousands of jobs in the next few years to Bellevue, which is so close to Redmond that could work out well too if you want to live in Redmond and commute to Amazon.
Exactly. Okay, so our next pro is
the beauty. And we have the luxury of saying that Seattle or Greater Seattle and Bellevue are one of the most beautiful cities in America. But amongst the neighborhoods within our area, Redmond is, of course, extremely beautiful because it's outside of the hustle and bustle of Bellevue and Seattle. So you have more greenery, tree-lined streets and sidewalks, plenty of places to walk the dog, and you're so close to the mountains. You're on the east side, which makes you a little bit closer to the Cascades than if you lived on the Seattle side, the west side of Lake Washington. And so you have beauty right there in Redmond, and then you're just adjacent to all the natural beauty of the mountains as well.
Yeah, one of the best parks is actually located right in Redmond, which is Marymore Park, and it's 640 acres. It has an off-leash dog area. It has tons of trails to hike. It has concerts in the summer, outdoor concerts, and then also outdoor movies in the summer. And so it's just a really fun place to go. Lots of open green space.
The next advantage or pro of living in Redmond is
that it has a great downtown center. So Redmond Town Center is kind of central to Redmond. It's right across 520 from Marymore Park at the north end of Lake Sammamish. And there's a lot of different community events that go on, a lot of shopping and restaurants. Of course, not as much as if you were to go into Bellevue, but it does create an environment that creates a sense of community and kind of a centralized location for some of these different things to happen, to meet up with friends. In the winter months, they decorate it for the holidays and have fun holiday events. In the summer months, they will have like a car show and have other community events. So it's just a really great area. It has definitely a suburban feel to it with kind of that community space, but it also has some shops, which gives you a little bit more of that city feel. So it's kind of a nice balance of not actually living in a big city, but getting access to some of those shops and restaurants.
Yeah, when you want to grab an ice cream or you need to go to the grocery store, you don't need to go to the big city. Those are conveniently located in Redmond. But keep in mind, if you want an assortment of fine dining restaurants or tons of
nice shops,
clothing options and things like that, you're not going to find that all in Redmond.
And another great pro is
it's the #1 ranked suburb in all of Washington state, according to niche.com. So you can see on niche.com, and of course various websites will rank cities and communities in different orders, but Redmond is consistently top 10 or even top 5. So you know that there's something behind it. On niche.com, it showcases the excellent schools. And being a part of the Lake Washington School District, the test scores and the teacher to student ratio is always advantageous for the students, and they consistently get recognized for the great school system.
That's right. So if you don't want to send your kids, if you don't want to have to send your kids to private school to get a good education, you want to have that good public education, living in the Lake Washington School District is definitely something you want to be looking out for when you're looking at neighborhoods in the greater Seattle area, and Redmond is in that school district.
You can also see, looking at niche.com, that the crime rate is low in Redmond. Of course, it's a fact of life that crime occurs everywhere across America, but relative to other parts of Seattle, Redmond is quite safe, and so you don't need to be paranoid about making sure that your car is always locked and your door is always locked when you're running a quick errand. Our friends live there, and they consistently are happy with the zero crime rate.
Yeah, the amount of safety that they feel, walking around at night, taking their pets out for a walk. Yeah.
Exactly. Now that we covered several of the pros of living in Redmond, now let's cover the cons, with the first being
the nightlife. Yes, the nightlife in Redmond is not the best. Now, we just showed you a website, niche.com, and it does show the nightlife ranked as an A, so don't believe everything you read
Just
online.
not true. Yeah.
It is just not true. Now, of course, you can go out and enjoy some time with friends in Redmond in the evening.
At a restaurant. We're not talking about nightclubs.
That's true. A little bit more vibrant scene, you're gonna wanna head down to Bellevue, which is only 15 to 20 minutes away, so definitely doable to grab an Uber, be responsible, and head out for a night on the town there, but you're not really gonna find that in Redmond.
Right.
And another con is,
along the same lines as not having a huge, vibrant nightlife, is the fact that most of what you need to do during the day, dry cleaners, restaurants, grocery shopping, you are dependent on a car. But that's just what suburban life is like. So unlike maybe living in the core of the city where you can walk to many places out of convenience, you will have to jump in your car. And some of our friends who live in Redmond don't love the fact that they always have to get to a place or two with a 20-minute drive versus being closer to the city. So when you need to do that shopping, you have to get in the car. When you need to go
run all the errands, you're just driving around a lot more.
Yeah, exactly. But to some people, they like that because they're off the beaten path a bit, not in the hustle and bustle of the city. But for those of you who do like more action of Jess's last point of the nightlife, or like the convenience of being able to be 5 minutes from everywhere, Redmond is probably not the right fit for you. And our last con of living in Redmond is
the high cost of living. Now, it's not quite as high as Kirkland or Bellevue, but it still is pretty expensive when we are looking at the greater Seattle region as a whole. And so that is something to factor in, is it is gonna cost you more to live in Redmond.
Very true. In Seattle, currently, you can get a starter home around $750,000, $800,000. This isn't a fancy new construction home, but for that same equivalent home in Redmond, it's going to cost you at least $200,000 more. So a starter home in Redmond is about $1 million currently. Of course, these prices will fluctuate, and in 10 years from now, everybody's going to say, wow, that was super cheap. But rent right now for a one-bedroom, the median rent for a one-bedroom in Redmond is about $2,000 a month. And for a nice move-in ready house, not fancy or luxury, but something that's around 2,500 square feet in a good part of Redmond, is going to run about 1.3 to start with.
In fact, we did a whole vlog video and we toured 3 different homes and 3 different price points in Redmond. So if you haven't seen that, be sure to check that out. It gives you a better idea of where your dollars, how far it can stretch in Redmond.
Redmond is certainly not going to fit everyone's needs, but for those of you who are looking for a great suburb close to Bellevue, close to Seattle, and like the greenery, the beauty, the excellent schools, and prefer being outside of the city, it could be a really good fit.
And with that, we hope you enjoyed this video, and whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, reach out, give us a call. We'd love to help you make that smooth move to the greater Seattle area.
Bye for now.